to extend a set, or you don't always need to go to failure and beyond failure. So just picking and choosing your spots as to when to push. This week though is a little bit different. We're not, going beyond failure, but Justin is depleting a little bit, and the reason for depleting is, you're going to get a short-term supercompensation effect when you add carbohydrates back in. So if you deplete slightly, what's going to happen is your body for a short period of time is going to be able to store and hold more carbohydrates. So initially his body is going to go flatter, and then once he adds carbs back in at the end of the week as his training tapers off, it's going to push the muscle fiber closer to the skin, because his body is in a super compensated state, and this is somewhat of the goal of why he's doing this right now. So again, he's not going to extreme low levels of carbs, just slowly depleting the carbs. We're pushing a little bit harder in terms of the training. So what you're going to see there is, like, we're not doing crazy drop sets, but he is doing drop sets, and you can see that in the video today. So just kind of wanted to give you guys some insight into that, into what's going on. As he's approaching, essentially, we're going to deplete, or he's going to deplete through Tuesday, and then most likely we'll start loading carbohydrates again on Wednesday, to get ready for the show this Saturday.
Hey, what's up, guys? We are here at Kratos Gym in Orange County, California. Just finished up doing the Luke Rigno Legacy last night, so I'm here doing a photo shoot today with Iron Rebel. Prepping for this competition has been a little different than any of the previous contests I've done, because this was my 7th show this year, and most people that follow me knows that I typically only do 1, sometimes 2 shows a year, so my body was definitely in a very tired state. So I'm used to doing minimal cardio and eating a significant amount of food. So this prep, my body was kind of slowing down a little bit, and it wasn't responding as good. So I definitely worked my ass off for this prep. I did a lot more cardio and ate a lot less food. I feel like I brought a good package, and I knew going into the show that it wasn't going to be a cakewalk, because I knew Nate was doing it, and Nate did get the nod on me yesterday. He was 12th at the Olympia, so me and him basically were running neck and neck at the Olympia. I got him there, and he got me today, so he walked away as the better man, and I'm okay with that. So we do the photo shoot today. I get home tomorrow, I put the next plan together, and I move forward and keep progressing with my career and keep rocking. I just recently signed with Iron Rebel at the Olympia, and I've actually known the owner, Ed, a little bit longer than that. So back over the summer, I was having some elbow issues, like some really bad tendonitis, and most companies don't make like elbow sleeves with the durability and especially the size to fit, a top-level pro bodybuilder. So, I talking to Ed, he had me a custom pair made, and basically it was the reason I was able to continue doing heavy presses and keep my shoulders, my chest, and my triceps, firing the way they should be through contest prep, because I was debating my tendonitis. It was my own fault for letting it get to the point that it was that bad because I should have taken better care of myself, but I didn't, and I learned my lesson. But that being said, with having the products and having the lifting gear to protect me, it allowed me to get through my prep, safely, smoothly, pain-free, and here I am today, still competing and looking forward to starting this off season strong. Thank you guys for following me this year and supporting me, showing me love on social media, following my videos. I want to give a huge shout out to Evogen Nutrition for backing me the whole time. I've been with them for 2 years. They take really good care of me. Liquid Sun Rays has always made sure that my tan is on point, taking really good care of me there. Make sure backstage I'm prepped up good. Iron Rebel takes really good care of me with all my apparel, my lifting gear. I've got Mama Tees as well. She supplies me with the protein cookies, so it kind of makes my travel a lot easier. And then, also a special shout out to Billy at MegaFit Meals. Every time I travel, and even when I'm not traveling at home, he gets me hooked up with meals, which makes my life a lot easier. So, you guys go check them out. All those guys, I don't put my name on someone that I don't believe in. So if you guys want some good products, some good service, that's who I'm with, and that's who I recommend you guys go check out. Last but not least, I want to give a special thanks to Dave Cowlick. Most of you guys have known me for prepping myself. This contest, I actually did not prep myself for it. Me and Dave kind of hooked up a few weeks back. I kind of got down on my luck a little bit. Dave picked me back up mentally, and we decided that I was in good enough shape that I needed to be doing the show. And again, we didn't walk away with the victory, but I felt like, mentally we learned a lot about my body. So I'm looking forward to what we can do together coming up for the 2017 season. So I'll see you guys in about 6 or 7 months on stage, and hopefully to bring a hell of a lot better package, bigger and better.
I have a list of exercises in my head when I come to the gym, and I get through what I get through. If I need to lower my volume or up my volume, it just kind of depends on how I feel for the day. We started out here on this old school Paramount machine. It's kind of similar to a hammer strength. Did 2 or 3 warm-ups, get some blood in the muscle, and get the joints ready to go. And then 3 working sets. You can see nothing really fancy. Just nice, slow, controlled negative, strong contraction. And that's about it. And then we move on to some other stuff. This is what I kind of call an Arnold curl. I don't really know the proper term for it. I kind of stole this off Arnold from the movie Pumping Iron. So basically just bend over to a dumbbell curl. I feel that it really focuses kind of more on the contraction part of the bicep rather than anything else. The next exercise for biceps is I chose barbell curls. I like to do this exercise kind of towards the end because I like to be pretty exhausted and fatigued. I find that whenever I'm fresh, my biceps are stronger, and I tend to want to cheat a little bit. I don't want to add any pressure on my lower back. I don't want to sacrifice my form. So I feel like by being pretty exhausted, I use less weight, but I still get a good contraction. I wanted to do a little bit of forearm work as well, so I just did one movement where I do a reverse grip camber bar curl. Okay, so we started here with triceps on the cables. I use the camber bar push down, mainly just to get some blood into the elbows. I suffer with a little bit of elbow pain this off season, so I want to make sure that I keep my elbows and everything injury free. I want to stay safe with it, so I kind of use a little bit of a safety net, start with this exercise, and dips. So the third exercise I did for triceps, I wanted to do a one-arm type movement. So I kind of go over my shoulder with this one. It's something that I've been doing for a long time. It's kind of like the hinge movement for the elbow. So it works the elbow extensors, basically the horseshoe part of the tricep. This is basically just an overhead tricep extension. Again, I focus kind of on the negative portion of this, trying to control it down and then bringing it back up. Next exercise we did for triceps and skull crushers. I do these a little bit differently now than a lot of people. I kind of keep my elbows out rather than keeping them tucked in. I find that takes a little bit of the pressure off for me. Nothing real fancy here. You don't really have to get fancy to find out what works. This has been around for many years. We basically just try to get a full stretch and a full squeeze on this. We're getting ready to do some delts today, and I typically train delts starting with rear side and then finish off with front delts. It's kind of the opposite of what people was taught. Rear delts is where people's lagging at. You know, it's not something that I say I'm lagging in, but it's something I can definitely make improvements on. Today we're going to start here with the reverse pec deck. You know, this workout applies, you know, the same as all my other workouts. We're going to stay hard and heavy all the way to contest time. Anywhere from failing sets, anywhere from 6 up to 12 reps. Right now we're going to do some incline rear delt raises with dumbbells. I'll lay chest down, belly down on the incline, so it kind of takes the momentum from me swinging my body out of it. I try to keep my arms as straight as possible for the first part of the set to failure, and then I bend them once I hit failure. When I train in this gym, this is definitely a staple that I like to use. It's an old school piece that not very many gyms have. I can isolate my side delts really well before moving on into a different exercise. This is an exercise that I've just kind of started implementing into, you know, this off season a little bit. It's more of a seated upright row with the cables. I use the spud straps because they're easy to grab a hold of. These are extremely long, so it allows me to kind of use a little bit wider grip to focus on my side delts and take a little bit of my trap side of it. We're going to finish off side delts with just some simple side lateral raises with dumbbells. You know, we just basically stuck to about 55-pound dumbbells the whole time, aiming at 8 to 12 reps, 3 sets to failure, and then even try to crank a few partials out at the end if I had it in me to do it. So we're going to do some front delts now to finish this workout off. So rather than doing some dumbbell front raises, we're going to do front raises on this machine here. This is what I did side laterals on earlier, but you can also turn to the side and use this for front raises. It really isolates the front delt. Again, it takes all the swinging and all the cheating out of it, which is why I prefer this machine over dumbbells most of the time. This is our last exercise for shoulders today. We're going to finish this off with the press. As most people would typically start with this, we're going to finish with it. So the muscle's kind of pre-exhausted, so the actual poundage on the machine is not quite as much. I prefer the hammer strength. I don't really have a reasoning behind that. Just my body seems to really flow good with this machine versus doing a barbell. And, you know, dumbbells, unless you have a rice rack or have some type of support system, someone handed it to you, I really don't like to do dumbbell presses. I prefer either a hammer strength or a Smith machine for these.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute. I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning. Oh, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? My strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, oh. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life. Whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, oh. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna...
Stone, it is as high as you can get. It is the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. You know, climbing the ladder from a teenager, you know, you move into the novice division, then you move into the men's open, then you go up to the junior level, then you go up to the national level, then you go to the pro ranks. You got tier 1, 2, 3, 4 pro shows. This is as high as it gets. So I'm going to be competing with the best of the best bodybuilders in the world. So it's an honor for me to step on this stage and be up there, and hopefully I make a good impact here next week. This is our final chest exercise today. I saved this one for the end. I really like this movement. This is something I put in probably every other week. I use an incline that's at roughly 60 degrees, a little bit steeper than your average incline bench. The purpose behind this, I'm trying to target as high up on the chest as I can to try to create that shelf where it comes off the clavicle. So I don't ever want, that's one area that, you know, most guys lag in. So I want to make sure that that area kind of stands out on the end of the bit. Start out with this. So basically I just keep throwing a plate on each time, warming up, and you know, I'll end up doing 3 to 4 reps. Once like 2 plates for like 10, 3 plates for 4, 4 plates for 4, and then 5 plates is where I feel comfortable doing a set if I've got enough blood moving in there. So we're gonna crank out 3 sets here, and then we're gonna move on. Nothing real fancy here. You don't really have to get fancy to find out what works. This has been around for many years. We basically just try to get a full stretch and a full squeeze on this. So I kind of, you know, focus a little bit on the negative. I try to hold it for maybe like 1 second at the contraction just to squeeze as much on the triceps as I can. I want to do a 1-arm type movement, so I kind of go over my shoulder with this one. It's something that I've been doing for a long time. I've actually doing it since I was a teenager. It's just something I don't really like post about or anything. It's kind of like a hinge movement for the elbow, so it works the elbow extensors, basically the horseshoe part of the tricep. And I tend to do this a little bit later on just because I like to have the pump and the blood flow into the tricep before I do this, because it also provides a really good stretch. So it can be potentially kind of hard on the elbow if you're not warmed up thoroughly with this. So we're gonna do some front delt now to finish this workout off. So rather than doing some dumbbell front raises, we're gonna do front raises on this machine here. This is what I did side laterals on earlier, but you can also turn to the side and use this for front raises. Really isolates the front delt. Again, it takes all the swinging and all the cheating out of it, which is why I prefer this machine over dumbbells most of the time. Stole this exercise. I think it was off of Jay Cutler's DVD called J to Z, made in like '99. So I was watching that one day and I kind of watched his range of motion and how he was doing this. So I wanted to mimic it and I tried it, and I really like the feel of this movement because the way I do it, I kind of modified it slightly. If you'll notice on the last couple sets, I pull the weight to my waist, so I pull low in the initial phase of it, and then as I start hitting failure, I kind of change my grip and I kind of turn my palm out a little bit and I pull out. So what I'm doing here is I'm hitting my lower lats initially in the set, and then when that fails, I turn my palm, my elbow out, so I'm attacking a little bit more of the rhomboid and the trap and the rear delta area. So it's kind of like I'm killing two birds with one stone on this, so hitting my lower back and my upper back at the same time.
Cell count, cellular kinetic expansion matrix, elite mass recovery catalyst, maximum hardness, fullness, and recovery, only in Evogen Nutrition.
So we're going to finish off side delts with just some simple side lateral raises with dumbbells. This is an old school bread butter exercise. The bodybuilders have been using for years, so if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, we just basically stuck to about 55-pound dumbbells the whole time, aiming at 8 to 12 reps, 3 sets to failure. And even try to crank a few pulses out at the end if I had it in me to do it. Our next sequence of exercises, we're going to do a little superset with decline hammer press, supersetted with dips here. So we're going to do the decline anywhere from 12 to 15 reps, nothing specific there. We're going to go to failure, and then immediately, these two machines are set up very close. This is why I chose this. Both of them target the lower chest. So we're going to immediately hop straight up and come over here, body weight dips, leaning forward, keep emphasis on the chest until failure. Okay, so we've wrapped up the majority of our pressing. We have a few things left to do on that, but first we're going to do some fly type movements. We're going to start out with a dumbbell fly. We're going to go to failure, and we're going to take that same weight while we have it in our hands, and then we're going to press it just to try to squeeze a little bit extra out on the chest. Then we're going to superset that with pec deck. So first set here, we're a little bit too heavy and a little bit gassed at this point in my workout. So my goal is to get 8 to 10 reps. I kind of failed on that, so it's time to lighten the weight up in the next 2 sets and get cracking on it. day. And I typically train delts starting with rear side and then finish off front delts. It's kind of the opposite of what people was taught. So most people have enough front delts. So rear delts is where people's lagging at. You know, it's not something that I say I'm lagging in, but it's something I can definitely make improvements on. So I want to focus most of my energy towards that. So today we're going to start here with the reverse pec deck. You know, this workout applies, you know, the same as all my other workouts. We're going to stay hard and heavy all the way to contest time. Anywhere from failing sets, anywhere from 6 up to 12 reps. You know, I don't really want to go any lighter than that or any heavier than that. That's where I stay at. So we're going to do 3 sets of this exercise, and on the last set we're going to do a slack static hold as long as we can, and then we'll move on to some dumbbells. Season a little bit, something a little fairly new to me. It's more of a seated upright row with the cables. I use the spud straps because they're easy to grab a hold of, and they feel a little better than using the rope. These are extremely long, so it allows me to kind of use a little bit wider grip to focus on my side delts and take a little bit of my traps out of it. So this also hits a lot of rotator cuff as well to strengthen that area up. So we just do 3 sets here, try to push as much blood into the side delts, and it'll attack the rear delts a little bit too, depending on how you hit this. So this is kind of a good all-around exercise to give your delts kind of a 3D look. This is our second rear delt exercise, so we're going to basically be doing 2 exercises per deltoid head, with the exception of a new exercise that I kind of throw in the middle of the workout. But right now we're going to do some incline rear delt raises with dumbbells. So I'll lay chest down, belly down on the incline, so it kind of takes the momentum from me swinging my body out of it. So I try to keep my arms as straight as possible for the first part of the set to failure, and then I bend them once I hit failure, almost like a very high road to kind of hit the trapezius, a little bit of the rear delt, and then I finish off with partials after that. So we do 3 rounds here, and then we move on to some side delts. This is basically just an overhead tricep extension. I typically do these on a cable, but the cables here don't adjust, and the attachment is very high. You know, at my height, it doesn't really work out really well, but since we have a machine here, I often use them on this. Again, I focus kind of on the negative portion of this, trying to control it down and then bringing it back up. So anywhere between 8 to 15 reps. Focusing a little bit more on the brachialis. I used a rope hammer curl, and I used it on the preacher as well, because with doing this, there's really no swing involved into it. And I don't know, this is maybe just my structure or the way that I've learned this exercise. When I do regular hammer curls, I tend to not get a full range of motion, and I tend to, when the weight gets really heavy, my body wants to cheat. I mean, mentally I don't want to, but my body wants to get the weight up any way that it can. So by doing these on the preacher bench, my elbows can't move, so I'm not really engaging any front delt. I'm not activating any other muscle than what I need to be doing. So this keeps all the tension on my biceps. And also, I kind of like to finish this exercise. I feel safe, I feel comfortable with it, so I'll do like a static hold. Once I get to the final rep, I'll hold it for anywhere from whatever I'm capable of. Sometimes 5 seconds, sometimes 10, sometimes 15. And then I'll finish it off with a few partials at the bottom just to make sure I'm getting the maximum stimulation out of the exercise.
Cell Count, Cellular Kinetic Expansion Matrix, Elite Mass and Recovery Catalyst, Maximum Hardness, Fullness, and Recovery, only from Evogen Nutrition.